Learn how to turn your smartphone into a professional quality video camera. Be sure to check out our mobile filmmaking courses. And also, don't forget, we have a companion filmmaking podcast. Links are in the description. Today I wanted to look at LumaFusion and the iPad Pro. If you haven't been following what they're doing, it's pretty incredible. They are coming out with an entire updated version 3 of their app that I really believe will push a lot of people, and I mean more traditional editors, towards working on an iPad, doing mobile video editing. And one of the bigger deals for me, I wanted to highlight today. And by the way, this isn't a full tutorial, it's more of a highlight of what's to come and what you can expect from this new version of the app. All right, so I'm in LumaFusion. This is version 3, and this is the beta. The full version will be released to the public very soon. I don't know the exact date or timeline, but that is coming soon. Depending on when you're watching this video, it may already be out. So what I wanted to look at though very quickly is my favorite new feature. There's a lot of new features, but my favorite one by far is the ability to edit off SSDs. And so all you need to do is go into Preferences, scroll down, and there's a setting, External Drive Editing. I have that turned on. So you'll get a display here, a warning. It's asking me if I want to turn it off. It's already turned on, so I'm not going to do that. But all you got to do is turn this on, and then boom, you are ready to edit off an SSD. I already have my Samsung T5 connected. I'll go into Files here and show you. There's my T5. I've got several folders on there. And so then within LumaFusion, all you would need to do is go to your sources, and you can choose it here through Files, or what I did was add link to folder. And so when you add a link to folder, the Samsung T5 drive comes up. And then you can go into whatever folder you want. I'm going to go into Media. I know I put a couple clips in there, and immediately it sees these are edited projects from shows that I've done on my YouTube channel. This is the one I did on the Beast Rail. And so this is seeing this off my Samsung T5 drive. This is not imported into the iPad. And I can play it. And so now I'm going to put this together. So I've got the Beast Cage here and the DOF adapter. This is the Beast-Grip DOF Mark II. And so all you got to do now is drop it into a project just like you would with a traditional editor. That clip is dropped in, and I'll now play it right off the SSD. And then the other thing that would be nice, and I haven't really done much of this with the DOF adapter yet, but that is you could add a file. And you can see that's very responsive. It's acting just like it imported into the iPad. For me, one of the biggest drawbacks to editing on the iPad is always having to import your media. It really deterred me from using this a lot, except for very quick or small projects. Because often I'll shoot, 10, 20, 30 gigabytes worth of footage. Last thing I want to do is import every one of those clips. And so here's another clip coming off the SSD, and it does load just a little bit slow. You can see it building here, but it still plays back very well. So that right there, again, is coming right off the SSD. Now, if you're not familiar with LumaFusion or the iPad, you might be thinking, wow, we do that with Final Cut Pro or Premiere or whatever in a laptop. Of course you do. That's super easy to do that. That's how those are made. With the iPad, and particularly the iPad OS, it's not designed for this, or it hasn't been until now. And as a matter of fact, to my knowledge, you can't do this with any other editing app out there yet. That'll probably be coming, but LumaFusion is one of the first, if not the first, to be able to allow you to actually edit off of a drive. Now, LumaFusion recommends the T7 drive. The Samsung T7 is a good affordable option. These are the T5s. They're a little bit older. They work fine. The T7s are faster. I can't remember the exact speed difference. I'll put it up here on the screen. But the T5 works fine, but it needs to be a USB-C for the older iPads or a Thunderbolt for the newer iPad. And by newer, I mean the brand new M1 iPads for 2021. This is an iPad Pro from 2020, from a year ago. This should work back to the 2018 iPad Pros. As long as you have a USB-C port on your machine, this should allow you to work off an SSD. Now, results may vary depending on the speed of your iPad and the speed of your SSD, But for me, this is a game changer and will likely have me editing a lot more on my iPad. And I also think this will open this up to other people doing the same in the traditional film industry, meaning on-set editing or maybe even DIT work. It's in its infancy. Well, I mean, it's not even released publicly yet, but I do think this will catch on with professional editors because you can, if you've seen my previous videos, you can connect this to Frame.io, and or you can do an XML export and take the project you're working on in LumaFusion into Final Cut Pro or to DaVinci Resolve or to Premiere Pro. And it's a really easy process using the XML export. If you're going to Premiere Pro, there's an additional step to use a converter app, or you have to go through DaVinci Resolve and then export out of there. But in the end, it's pretty simple. So again, just real quickly, I'm marking an endpoint, and then I'll do an out point here. This is on a clip coming from my SSD, drop it in the timeline, and boom. This is much further. And so that would be one benefit besides just supporting the glass. Now I need to do further testing with this. I'm not sure how it will perform with multiple layers of video and effects and that kind of thing. But again, for me, this is a big deal, and I am really excited about where LumaFusion is going. And speaking of that, if you haven't heard, I'm going to put a link to a podcast episode I recorded with Terri Morgan, the co-founder of LumaFusion, LumaTouch, in the description of this video. And that way you can hear not only what they're planning right now, but what they're planning in the future. Lots of great stuff, including scopes, including proxy editing for ProRes, not to mention stabilization and the ability to import audio plugins, etc., etc. Pretty great, huh? I'm really happy that they listen to their user base and take feedback from us, and they are adding what we've been begging them to do to the new version of the app. But what do you think? Do you use LumaFusion? And if not, will you now? Thanks for watching, guys. This is Blake Calhoun. Please like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.